And we do have Zack Medeiros standing by, Argos kicker. I'll just say this. A comment came in earlier about with Paul LaPolice being hired as head coach in Ottawa. Does that mean that one of those Bomber quarterbacks will follow him? I think that was the question. Something along those lines. We're going to find out how close Paul LaPolice was to a Matt Nichols or a Zach Collaros. If you know Paul, he's close to all of his guys. But they hired a head coach and an offensive coordinator all in one there. A 2-for-1 shot with Lapo. And probably his pick of available free agent quarterbacks, I would think.
I would think
he's that highly thought of.
Yeah.
So it is our what should I say, honor to be joined by Argos kicker Zack Medeiros. Joins us on video chat today from Southern Ontario. There he is this morning. Join us. Good morning, Zack. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, guys. How are you over there?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're always enjoying chatting CFL football, and the fans across the land certainly love it. Our producer, Clark, mentioned that you got a hold of him about coming on the program, and he says, Zack can talk about anything in sports. Is that true? Anything?
I mean, not okay. So I kind of stay in my lane, in my realm. So I mean, as long as it's like towards football, obviously NFL, CFL, of course, and hockey, those are kind of the sports I kind of tend to focus on. Basketball, baseball, I got kind of a vague knowledge on those two, but not so much.
Well, actually, are you the one, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but whose wife is a competitive, if not pro, barrel racer?
No. That's not me. I'm not married. I have a girlfriend, but I'm not married. No.
Okay, she's not a barrel racer. Okay, fair enough.
Who
Good,
are you
Zack.
thinking of?
There's another one. There was another CFL kicker whose wife is a barrel.
I think you're thinking of the guy from Ottawa. I forget his name. He was, the American guy.
Right. Okay, he wasn't there long.
Delver Alvarado.
Delver Alvarado. Yeah, Medeiros, Alvarado. Okay, I got it. So let me tell you this.
Spanish. I'm Portuguese, but yeah. Anyway.
With the unrest, Zack, in Toronto with the coaching situation and so forth, what's it like for players that are in limbo with the Toronto Argonauts right now? Or does it affect them that much when they don't know the status of their head coach here now, like a month past the end of the season?
Well, honestly, I at this point, I think from what I've heard, I think Coach Chamberlain's going to be sticking as the Argos head coach, which is great for the team. So that's going to be secure. Whether it's a short or long leash, that remains to be unknown until the season actually starts. As far as the other pieces from offensive, obviously if Chamberlain's going to be intact, he's going to be the defense coordinator. That's the kind of the question there. Who's going to bring in, for me, who's going to be the special teams coach? Is it going to remain to be Corey McDearman and Coach Jackson? We'll see. Jock Chapdelaine, I've heard a bit of a riff that he might not be coming back again until that's actually set in stone. We have no clue. So there's a lot of question marks kind of going into it, and myself included with a lot of players on the team, I'd say probably around half the team we're all in their contract here this past season coming up. So it's going to be, I'm curious to see what's going to kind of end up happening, who do they plan to bring back going into this year at the start of training camp.
Well, just to clarify your contract situation, so you are going into free agency or you've got a year left? You're under contract for 2020?
Yeah, I am going into free agency, yes.
So how does that make you feel entering the holiday season, not really knowing where you're going to be next year? Are you used to it now?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think I kind of got used to signing one-year deals. I think that's how most players do for the CFL, unless you're like QB and you're going to be there for a long time. We don't know, obviously, how the future is going to hold. I think when I first broke into the CFL, it was, obviously all you want to do is play for any amount of money, because just making it as a pro athlete is anyone's dream. But once you're kind of in the industry for a while, and you realize, hey, if I have a really good year, I have all the leverage in the world to kind of take it to the team and say, hey, listen, I had a great year. I want to be valued as good as I played and compensated for that. So I think 1 year is the way to go. And, we'll see. I mean, I love my time in Toronto. Obviously, based off the numbers, it was an up and down year for me, with me competing with two other guys that are great guys and quality kickers. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I've talked to like two teams so far during this period of time, but obviously it's way too early to kind of see where I'm going to end up.
Well, let me ask you a question about the kicking fraternity, brethren, even if you will. I mean, how big of friends are you guys? Like you mentioned the other kickers in Toronto, Tyler Crapina being one.
Ryan Pepper.
Yeah, Ronnie Pfeffer. I mean, you guys are all competing to be out there kicking field goals, yet there's only one ball. So there's that. So talk about that competition within a locker room. And then also a guy like Brett Maher, released by the Dallas Cowboys, leading the NFL to missed field goals that ultimately lost him his job. Were you feeling for him? Were you following him after he left the CFL to go sign with the Cowboys?
Yeah, so it's actually interesting. I was actually a part of Brett's team back in 2017 for the majority of that year. So he's the one that played in front of me, but it was great just learning from a vet like that. He taught me a lot of things, just shadowing him for the majority of the 2017 campaign. Obviously I want nothing. I mean, you brought up the whole fraternity between us and the rest of the kickers throughout the league. And, obviously it's a competition. We all want to play that. That's why we're all playing, right? That's why we're all in the CFL. But at the end of the day, I mean, we have to spend, especially when guys are on our team, we have guys like Tyler and Ronnie, you have to spend all year with them. So you have to find some way to kind of coexist in the same locker room with those guys. So we have a tight knit group and we make it work and we all get along great. Back to Brett, obviously I feel for him because I know what he's capable of. He had a great year when he was in Ottawa, and the year before that when he was in Hamilton as well in 2016. It could create more competition. Maybe he might come back to the CFL, who knows, because he's had some success in this league, but based off his resume and I'd say now he has almost 2 years under his belt playing with the Cowboys. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets another look going into next season anyway in the NFL. I just don't know who that's going to be with.
We got a lot of people have asked us to ask you what it was like kicking or being teammates with Donald Delahaye. For those that don't know, the guy that goes by Destroying on YouTube, the YouTube star. What was it like being around this guy?
He's a great kid, funny guy. Everything you kind of expect in a YouTube star. Not cocky. He's actually pretty humble. He does not like being called Destroying at all. Call him by his name. I know a lot of YouTubers. I know the majority of his following are little kids for the most part. So definitely call him by his first name. No, but great guy. Great, and also a phenomenal kicker. Probably in my 6-7 year career, probably the strongest leg I've ever seen in my life, being around any kicker. So I think for him, it's just being confident in what he can do. He's still young. I think he's 22 right now. So he still has a ways to go. His future in football, I mean, I've talked to him a few times since he's been with Toronto, and he kind of took some time to himself to obviously work on content back home. So I don't know where he's at right now, honestly, about his football career, but I hope he doesn't give up because the kid has a bright future. Just a few things to clean up, but overall, I think he can definitely play at this level.
How did he feel about Corey Chamberlain calling him YouTube? That's what he called him. Hey, YouTube. How did he like that?
I don't know. I think he just kind of, he went with it. I mean, he's a first year player, and I mean, at that time, you're just gonna kind of take what you can get, and it's all in good fun too, right? I don't think he took it too personally, but just obviously based off of his channel, and I've never been around something like that before, and his kind of following, and him walk around with his camera. I mean, I've never really seen any athlete do that. But I mean, I guess when you're making the money he has online on YouTube, you have to kind of do that on a daily basis. So I think overall, he just kind of embraced what he's been doing. I mean, half the team calling him YouTube. I mean, even when we went out to eat, again, talking about specialists being a tight-knit group, we have 5 kickers in training camp, which is unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen that with any other team, regardless of it being the NFL or CFL. So, but when we went to eat or watch a movie, whatever the case was, you'd have little kids running up for him, asking for his autographs. We were at Jack Astor's, and this was happening, like 10 kids asking for his autograph. So it was pretty crazy.
Wow, it is. Zach, I get the feeling like we could talk for a long time. We're out of time today, but maybe we can talk some NFL next time and so forth. But I appreciate this today. Merry Christmas and good luck into 2020. But I think we'll get you on before free agency hits.
Absolutely, guys. I appreciate your time.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.